This is Gary Guyman with the Dominate the Day podcast. The purpose of this podcast is to help you get 1% better in your business, provide clarity, and give you some ideas that will help you grow your business. If you're ready to dominate the day, let's go.
Dominate the day, that's what we're about to do. If you don't want to dominate, then this podcast ain't for you. But if you are, then keep listening, cause every single damn day, the mission is to dominate. You already know we're here to dominate the day. So if you want to dominate every day, then let's go, it's time to grow. This is another episode of Dominate the Day.
I'm having a conversation today with somebody who's starting a business, and he asked me, if you could give me one piece of advice, what piece of advice would you give me? So, as always, it comes down to one thing, and that's just take action. We live in this world of thinking and overthinking. You know, there's anxiety and depression and all kinds of things that we deal with, and it's caused because our thoughts are just compounding. And as humans, we have that yin and yang, the good and the bad. We can computate, and we're critical thinkers, but that's both good and bad. We try to reason, we try to determine, when all along doing all of that keeps us from the success from taking action. Now, not all action is going to give you success, but success is only going to come from action. No one ever planned out $1 billion company. Let me say that again. No one ever planned out $1 billion company. So what do I mean by that? Gary, they had a plan. Well, sure they had a plan, but they didn't create a plan to $1 billion. They took action to $1 billion. How do you know that? Well, because there's missteps along the way, and if they would have had a flawless plan, there would have never been missteps. But that's the whole idea of business ownership. You get punched in the face, you reset, you take action. You don't go back and you try to think. See, and that's our biggest problem. It goes back to when we were kids. When I was a kid, my grandparents, they had this it was a 3-season room, but my grandpa made it a 4-season room because it had this hella fireplace. Like, he could run you out. If it was 10 degrees below zero, that room would be 90 degrees. He could do it. Well, I had 39 cousins, and during the holidays, we would be at their house, and the holidays were cold. Christmas, New Year's. And I remember there was one holiday, and in that room, we were playing some type of sport that we shouldn't have been playing, probably. Adults were in the other parts of the house playing cards, I'm sure. And the ledge of that fireplace was third base. And I can remember going from second to third base with all my might so I wouldn't get out. The problem was you have the time to stop so you don't run into the fireplace. Well, I didn't have enough time to stop, and I hit the metal grate. And you know what happens when heat and metal come into contact? They're hot as balls. And so my right arm didn't have skin for a few weeks. And so every time I was in that room, I would tell myself, do not get close to the fireplace. Don't do it. Don't get close to the fireplace. I never played anything in that room again. I told myself that was a bad thing. And that's what happens as business owners. Something happens to us and we don't want to get burnt again, so we don't ever do that one thing. I used to work for an individual that they didn't want to have employees. Like, they didn't want to scale up at all. Yet they hired me to scale up, but they didn't want to scale up. It was a rough first 12 months to get them to the point to be able to scale up. Why didn't they want to scale up? Because they had an employee that sued them and won money, and so they never wanted to deal with an employee ever. Didn't want to deal with an employee. And it limited them from taking action. And they never could get past that until I took 12 months of my time to get them to trust me so that we could hire employees. And by hiring employees, their business totally changed. So what is it that you're not wanting to take action on? What is it that you're afraid to get burnt on? Why are you afraid to get burnt on it again? That's the whole idea of business ownership. Something bad happens. You recollect, you come back. Okay, how do I do it to where it doesn't kick my ass? Let's go. If you do that, if you take action and you're constantly not overthinking it, you're going to get to success. But if you're always thinking and thinking and thinking, you're not taking action, you're not going to see success. So you want to be successful? Take action. You take action, you'll dominate the day.
Dominate the day. That's what we're about to do. If you don't want to dominate, then this podcast ain't for you. But if you are, then keep listening. Cause every single damn day, the mission is to dominate. You already know. We're here to dominate the day. So if you want to dominate every day, then let's go. It's time to grow. This is another episode of Dominate the Day.